This is Conrad Roy III.
He texts Michelle, telling her that he wants his family to know that he loved them. She says that they know. I was on the phone with him and he got out of his car because he could feel it working and he got scared. And I told him to get back in the car. You're watching Totally True Crime. Conrad Roy III was born on the 12th of September 1995. He was born in the state of Massachusetts in America, and he was a talented athlete. He played basketball and he ran. He was also extremely intelligent and described as a gifted student. He had been accepted to university to study business, and he also worked alongside his father and grandfather in his family's marine salvage business. But life hadn't always been easy for Conrad. His parents had divorced in 2012, and he claimed that his father had hit him and his grandfather had been verbally abusive towards him. His mental health was impacted, and in October 2012, he attempted to take his own life. Something else happened to Conrad that's significant in this case in 2012. Conrad had been visiting relatives in Florida, and whilst he was there, he met a girl called Michelle Carter. They discovered that they lived 35 miles apart from each other and decided to stay in contact. When Michelle heard about his attempted suicide, she tried to talk to him and talk him out of it. She encouraged him to talk to mental health professionals as he struggled with social anxiety and depression. Conrad did talk to professionals. He saw counsellors and therapists, but his mental health would often relapse. When he was 17, he had taken an overdose, which led to him being hospitalised, and he was placed on antidepressants. But his mental health continued to decline. Through this time, Michelle kept in touch with Conrad. Michelle had also had her own mental health struggles, and whilst the majority of their relationship was over social media and text messages, they met in person around 5 times. They had arranged to meet each other many other times, but those plans would often fall through, with one of them pulling out. Their conversations were often deep and meaningful. Michelle had also suffered with an eating disorder. Michelle was a year younger than Conrad. When they met in 2012, she was 16 and Conrad was 17. When they'd met for the first time in Florida, they had taken a bike ride together to the beach, and Michelle later told Conrad that this is where she fell for him. Their relationship was romantic, but long distance. Michelle loved TV shows like Glee and the romantic storylines. Looking at messages sent between the couple, they both recognised they needed help for their struggles and would often encourage each other to get better. In 2014, Conrad was seemingly doing well. In the spring, he had earned his captain's licence from the Northeast Maritime Institute after attending a 3-month programme. In June, he graduated high school and made the honour roll. But something had changed. His mental health was declining. In June 2014, Conrad recorded this video where he talked about his social anxiety.
This is Conrad Roy III reporting about social anxiety. Social anxiety to me is the inability to function properly in a manner that you want to in social situations. And one of the things that I've realized is not all eyes are on you at all times. I am who I am. Yes, I can develop as a person, be more fluent, articulate, passionate about who I am. Or I can just go home, sit in my basement, and just do nothing about it. Just sit in my sorrows, weep and cry over something that is in the past. Or I can just take it a day by day, step by step. I mean, it's going to be difficult to accomplish, but I need to, for personal growth, accomplish this.
And just a month after this video was made, on the 12th of July 2014, Conrad Roy III drove his truck to a Kmart supermarket car park in the town of Fairhaven, Massachusetts. and there he ended his life through carbon monoxide poisoning. Authorities discovered his body in his truck the following day, and his family and friends were told the life-changing news that Conrad had taken his own life. Conrad's mother, Lynn, told the press that she didn't know how she was going to live without her son. The pain of losing Conrad was felt throughout his family, including his sisters and aunts, who paid tribute to him publicly. Conrad's funeral was held a week after his passing. At the funeral, Michelle, accompanied by her own mother, introduced herself to Lynn, Conrad's mother, and told her about their relationship. She didn't know about Michelle, and they stayed in touch after the funeral. Michelle texted Lynn a message that said she'd been the best mother to her son and told her how sorry she was for her loss. She told her that she had, quote, tried to fix him, and told her that she felt like she hadn't done enough. These are normal and valid feelings that people often experience after a loved one dies by suicide, and Lynn found herself comforting Michelle. But Michelle's behaviour started to become strange. She went to Lynn's home and into Conrad's bedroom, and she asked to take some of his things to keep, to remember him by. She even asked Lynn if she could have some of Conrad's ashes, something that stood out as very odd. Michelle then told Lynn that she wanted to arrange a suicide prevention fundraiser for Conrad in his honour. But Conrad's best friend, Tom Gamble, thought that Michelle was doing it for attention. She'd organised it in her hometown instead of his. It was mostly attended by her friends, and during the fundraiser, she would tell people that Conrad was her boyfriend, though a few of her friends said that she'd told them that he was just a friend when he was alive. People were suspicious of her behaviour, but nobody predicted what happened next. Months after Conrad died, Michelle Carter texted a friend and confessed to playing a part in his death. She said, quote, "I could have stopped it. I was on the phone with him and he got out of his car because he could feel it working and he got scared. And I told him to get back in the car." Conrad had left a notebook in his room. It contained suicide notes to his closest family and friends, and it also had a page that gave the passwords and login details to his phone and all of his social media accounts. And what was found on Conrad's phone was nothing short of harrowing. Michelle Carter and Conrad had been communicating with each other since the year 2012, and from 2012 until early 2014, the messages between the pair had been supportive and kind. On the 1st of June, Conrad writes, "I have social anxiety." Michelle replies, "I know you do, and I wish you didn't. There's no need to. What exactly are you afraid of?" They talk for a while, and Michelle offers Conrad some advice.
"And maybe you shouldn't try so hard. Just let it come naturally. Not everyone is going to like you. You have to realize that. You can't please everyone. Just live your life, not worrying about what people think of you, and keep the people who do like/love you and care about you close, because they are the only ones who matter."
Pages and pages of conversations like this. Clearly something more than a friendship between the couple in these messages.
"I want more than anything for you to be in my life forever. You're one of the best things that has ever happened to me. You still make me so happy and so proud. And I want you to know that I'll never give up on you."
Conrad tells her that he will always love her too. On the 25th of June, Michelle's tone changes slightly from her previous messages. Conrad talks about taking his own life, and Michelle seems to tackle it in a different way and says this:
"If you don't have any hope of getting better, then why are you holding on for so long? I think deep down, you have a bit of hope that you'll recover from this. And you aren't killing yourself because a part of you knows you'll get better. Because if you didn't have any hope, you would have already did it."
But later that evening, at 8 p.m, Michelle's tone changes completely on these messages. Conrad writes, "I want to die," and Michelle replies with this:
"I know you want to, but I just don't get why you're still holding on if you want to so badly. I know you want to, and you research it and everything, but are you actually really going to do it?
Michelle tells him that she thinks he's just afraid of doing it. He tells her that 96% of suicide attempts result in failure, and she asks him how much he wants to be in the 4% of those that are successful. But on the 1st of July, things get even darker. Conrad tells Michelle that he's depressed. She asks him that if he's going to kill himself, she wants to prepare herself. And she starts to talk to him, telling him that if this is his last day alive, then she wants to be talking to him all day. He asks her if she wants to do it with him, a joint suicide pact.
I would, but I want to live my life for you. Everything I do, it's going to be for you. You're the love of my life. I always knew we were special. You're mine forever. Because I know you'd want me to do good and live a happy life and get over my eating disorder. And when I accomplish things, I'm always going to look up to the sky and know you're smiling down on me. It's going to be for you. Okay, well, of course your family is going to grieve you. I mean, whenever people lose someone they love, they grieve them and are hysterically sad for a good month. But then it gets better, and they won't be as sad. They will always remember you and good times and memories. Your mom will definitely be sad and lost for a few weeks, but she will get better, and she has support from family and friends. She will know that you just wanted to be happy, and instead of crying for you, she will smile, knowing that you're in a better place. Your parents are not failures, and they will not think they are. They tried everything they could, but your issues won. Yeah, they'll probably blame themselves for a while, but they will get over it and learn to accept it. They will live for you, just like I will. They will be okay, I promise. I'll even call your mom every now and then to check in.
The messages continue to get darker, with Michelle again discussing methods of suicide and the statistics that support these methods in being successful. Conrad then tells Michelle that he keeps picturing his 2 younger sisters crying over him if he does take his own life. Michelle replies with,
Well, I would be devastated, shocked, and extremely upset for a week or 2. But as I said, I would have to find ways to cope. I would think about all the happy moments and the good times.
Michelle continues to ask Conrad when he's going to do it, and Michelle offers to be on the phone with him until the end. She asks him if she can get his name tattooed on her, and if she can have his mother's number and his sister's numbers, so she can text them after he's died. She asks him if he's going to do a, quote, last tweet, and asks him that if he does, can he make it about her and can he tag her? Then on the 12th of July, they text each other for the last time. Conrad tells her again that he's worried about what this will do to his parents and sisters. Michelle tells him that they will be expecting it, that they wouldn't want him to be sad and depressed, and tells him to stop overthinking. He texts Michelle, telling her that he wants his family to know that he loved them. She says that they know. He leaves his house around 6:20 p.m, and he makes 2 phone calls to Michelle as he pulls into the supermarket car park and starts to attempt on his life. He gets scared and leaves the car and then goes back after Michelle tells him to. She was on the phone to him for 40 minutes, whilst also texting his sisters to ask them if they'd seen Conrad, in an attempt to give herself an alibi. But in reality, she was on the phone to him for 40 minutes, listening to him die. Conrad passed away, with Michelle Carter being the last person he spoke to. Michelle Carter was arrested and charged with involuntary manslaughter. Michelle was found guilty in June 2017. Conrad's family sat in the court as they heard the painstaking evidence against her as their messages were read out. She was sentenced to 2.5 years, with 15 months to be served in prison, and she was released early for good behaviour. It's believed she's living with her family and has kept a low profile since being released. Conrad's family continue to miss him daily. His mother, Lynn, has spoken about the profound effect her son's loss has had on her and her family. But Lynn has also turned her pain into purpose. She fought for a change in the law that would make suicide enabling a criminal offence in the state of Massachusetts. Conrad's law is still not yet passed, and Conrad's loved ones are still fighting for it to become an official law. If you would like to show your support, the link to their Facebook group is in the show notes. Photos on the Facebook group show hundreds of people fundraising for Conrad, paying tribute to him and fighting for change. It's clear that Conrad's story has touched the lives of so many. Thank you for watching. If you found this video interesting, please subscribe for more weekly true crime videos like this. You've been watching Totally True Crime.